It's still ABC April, and today's letter is the letter G. And G is for grunge and gesso and glue and geography. Yep. So let's see what I can do if I combine all these words. Hi everyone, my name is Mary Lou, and this is Create Junk Journals with Mary Lou. So the words that I am going to play with for today, and I am going to combine them into one, are geography, and I have a roadmap. I have grunge, and look at this beautiful, this is actually a cloth tea bag. And look at the grunge that is on there from the tea. I have some tea leaves here as well. I have a little bit of wire, and wire is just going to pull things together. I have gesso. I have my hot glue. But what I also grabbed was my wax seal stamps. The first thing I need to do is I want to make some seals with hot glue. So I'm not using the wax at all today. I am using the hot glue. And that's where the gesso comes in. And I also have some Paper Artsy fresco finish chalk acrylics in front of me. So they're paints. And I have them in neutral colors. They're right here. Let me show you. So I have chocolate pudding, mud splat, toffee, caramel, and sand. And all together, they are going to give me some serious grunge. And I have my heat tool. So the first thing I need to do is I need to create some seals, and I have my stamping thing here too, and I want my glue to be a little grungier. So I am going to start right off the bat by throwing some tea leaves down. Then this should be hot enough now. Yeah. So then I am just going to take a bunch of glue, like that, pouring it in there, and I'm going to put my seal stamp right in there. And then it can just cool off for a moment. And while that is cooling, I am going to tear this map. So the project that I did the other day, I already used a chunk of it, and I'm just ripping another chunk out of it now. And then I can put it away again like nothing ever happened. So I have a beautiful chunk here. Look, let's not put your fingers, do not put your fingers in there. It is not dry yet. It needs a moment. So I think what I want to do is I want to rip this again. I'm just ripping it on the folds. So I have an idea in my head, but I don't know if it is going to work. So I'm just tearing. I don't want soft, clean edges. So I am actually going to tear a piece off of this side as well. The other thing I have is my vintage photo. Of course, I wouldn't be doing anything if I didn't have my vintage photo. And that means I can ink up the paper here. You know, if we're saying grungy, we gotta go grungy. And I'm going just around it. Like that. And I want a piece of the wire. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. So I'm going to take just a piece of wire. And this is like florist wire. It's thin wire. And then I'm going to take this and I kind of want to scrunch it together like that. Just like so. That's what I'm imagining I want. And I'm going to take my wire and go around it. I'm not pulling hard. I'm just kind of putting this around to give it that, yeah. Like this was a piece of map and we've now put it together with a piece of wire because we didn't know what else to do with it. That's what it sounds like, but I actually thought this out really well. So let's see if I can get this off here. It should. It would really, really suck if it didn't. I may have to. Okay, I think I need to do this a little different because I don't want to ruin my my wax seal stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my micro glaze because that's going to give it a little grease so that it doesn't get stuck in there again, because this is what happened and that does not look like what I was intending. So let's try that again. I do want the tea leaves, and I do think, where did it go? I do think this looks grungy, but I want it to look just a little different than that. There. And I guess I won't be pushing it down. I am just going to sit it on here, and hopefully that does something a little bit better than having it dry completely inside the glue. Okay, so I'm going to say that however people are doing this, it's not working for me. And the last thing I want to do is wreck my wax seal stamp. Right? Who wants to do this to their wax seals? I'm still going to use the glue. I'm just going to put the tea down, and then let's see if I can get this to be in a circle. Like that, and then we'll go around it because it will make itself work. Okay. And I will let it sit for a moment so that it gets to cool off a moment. Maybe that is what I did wrong. It does look really pretty. Let me zoom you in. Looks really pretty. While I am waiting for this, I'm just going to put a second one down, just in case this goes wrong again, so that I have a second one. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can stick this on here now. Well, it gave me a design, so that's at least something. I'm not going to do that again, but it does have a design on it now. So it's a little grungy seal out of glue. And that one is still sitting there getting ready. So I want to put it on here, but I want to grunge it up just that little bit more. And the way that I'm going to do that is by using gesso to start with. And I'm going to put some gesso on the edges to make it look kind of gross and yucky, right? So just like that. Doesn't have to go all the way around. It just needs to look like it's been in a drawer somewhere for a really long time. Then I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to let the gesso bubble. I'm going to turn the sound down and zoom you in so you can see what I am doing. So what is happening is something that I wasn't really expecting. The glue is soft again. That one is ready to be stamped, so I'm just going to put the stamp on there. And look, I don't know if you can see that. Look how beautiful that came out. So I may, well, I'll let this one dry up again. The gesso is dry, so it is doing what I'm asking it to do. Or gesso is dry for the most part. Like this one has all the tea leaves on the bottom, which is perfectly fine. It just makes it look grungier. And I'm going to take the paint. So this might actually be the one that I am going to use, because this did exactly what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to put a little bit of the paint on here. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to dab some of the paint on there, on the edges, and I'm just going to build it. There we go. This deep dark brown, and I also have caramel, and the caramel is going to give it the rusty color. It's again way too much, but you know. Okay, so I can pick this up now. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Just put a little bit of glue of the paint on here. There. And do we think this is dry? No. I don't want to put the heat gun on it again because that kind of made a mess. So I'm just going to see what happens if I just kind of dab this in here. Take a little sand. There. I am going to grab a little gesso. There. And we'll just let that sit for a moment, and we'll grab this one and do the same thing. So we'll grab a little caramel, put it through there. A little sand. A little chocolate pudding for the extra effect. Okay. Now let's see what happens if I dry this. Okay, let's try it. I'll just go further away. Okay. So it's just started becoming tacky, but the design is still in there, which is perfect. And the glue is now dry, so that's good. This one is also dry, so there we go. And yes, it's not totally dry, so I can actually manipulate it with my fingers a little bit. And I may just grab some other colors and just see what I can do here to make it look as grungy as I possibly can. Because I still want it to look like it just was found in a drawer somewhere, looking yucky and gross. I think that works. Okay, let's dry it again, just from far away. It looks pretty grungy to me. So what I'm going to do next, this one actually looks really cool. Even though it doesn't have a design in it at all. It's just cool. It's a cool little blob. So I may make a second one. Actually, I will make a second one because I have two now. So I'm just ripping this and then scrunching this together. And instead of using the metal to hold it, I have some twine. Put it around here. A little bit more, and then I'm just going to put a knot in. Don't have to do anything pretty with it because as soon as, well, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold this like this, and I'm grabbing my hot glue, and I'm kind of going in there and sticking this inside the hot glue to hold it together. Oop. You do have to hold it. It's all good. None of it will be visible. None of the boo-boos will be visible. So that's all good. There we go. I think I'll put this one on here. Yep. It wants to stick really badly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of glue. I need to ink this, but instead of inking, I have my fingers are dirty already anyway. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the paint and put it around there. Let's see how gross, and there's another G word, how gross and grungy we can get this to look. There, that works. I like that better than the inked, so I may just do that here as well. Not all over, but in some spots. There, I like that way better than what I had with the ink. Now the other thing I still have is my tea bag, and I'm not sure what I want to do with it. So I think I lost what I was going to do with the tea bag. Okay, so I think this is all fairly dry. Now I want to work with my metallic markers. So I'm going to start with, this should be black. I think this is black. Yeah, it's a dark gray metallic. So I'm kind of just going around the edges with it, but not all the way around, because I want this kind of to be covered so you can't see it, but at the same time I don't want it to look like it's all shiny and metallic, you know. And I keep sticking my fingers inside the paint. So then I am grabbing some gold. And right here, I want to just put a little bit of gold on there. It'll just give it a hint. It'll make it shine, but it's not going to be like, oh, it's gold. And then I have some more bronzy color. There we go. These are lovely. I really like using this. That is so cool. Honest, that looks so cool. I don't know if I want to do very much more to it, because I'm afraid that if I do more to it, then I'm going to take the really cool thing away. So I'll just need to put a little bit of this one on here. Oh, and I just brushed some of the paint through it too. And that looks super cool. Okay. So I think this one needs to go on there. And this one looks like it came out of a shop and needs to just go right there. So what I'm going to do now is just take a little glue, put the little glue right there, and then stick this inside and just push it down. It's just glue on glue. It's going to stick. So how would I use this? Well, this, because it is fairly bulky, this one is pretty bulky with the twine. This one is not so bulky, so this one could go inside of a journal, like, and you would just have it like on the side of a page or something like that. But this one I would put on the cover of my journal. Where did I put my journal? Let me grab it. So right here, like, I would just put it just like so. Let me zoom you out just a little bit more so you could see this. So I would put it right there. I think that looks really cute, actually, or like right there. But yeah, I would use it as a decoration on a journal cover. So that is my grungy geographical glue project, and I'll zoom you in to show because it is still like the glue is still wet, but I really like it. Like, look at that. It is just so cool. And honestly, about halfway through, I didn't think this was going to work. Didn't think it was going to look good. I was just about ready to give up. And then all of a sudden, it just came together. So I am happy with it. I hope you guys like this. It was a really fun project and so super simple. Once I figured out how to work with the glue, it is very simple to do. You don't need any wax seals or anything, and I am showing that right there. And you also don't need any twine. All you need is, like, you can do this with thread as well. So yeah, like, how cool would this be if there was a thread cluster behind it or something like that? But I wanted to stay with as much of the grunge and stuff and not make it look pretty. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button because I am finding what I am liking to do, and this is what I love. Just grab a couple of different things and see what I can make with it. I will start with a basic concept, and then this is what comes out of it. If you enjoyed watching this, don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe because there will be lots more coming of like this. For today, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.